All right, we are back. It's been a little while, but we're going to make some new episodes. We're going to talk about a lot of interesting topics. Today, we're going to start with gaslighting. Would you like to read the sentence for what it is, if you don't mind?
I would. Gaslighting, defined as psychological manipulation and emotional abuse.
All right, let's get into
Great
that.
topic.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right, let's see if we can do a drop here. Let's see. All right. Without further delay.
Gaslighting is a term you might hear a lot, but oftentimes people use it incorrectly or don't know what it actually means. In this video, I'll tell you what gaslighting is, how you can spot it, and what you can do if you're a victim of it.
All right, thank you, therapist.
All right.
What is gaslighting? Please, let us know.
Gaslighting is a form of manipulation where, over a long period of time, often months or years, a gaslighter slowly leads their victim to believe that they can't trust themselves. So they have to trust the gaslighter instead. They do this by constantly telling the victim that they're wrong, misremembering, incapable, or crazy. With enough repetition, these messages actually start to stick. The victim begins to doubt themselves. They feel reliant on the gaslighter, who has painted themselves as the victim's savior, the smart, capable, and sane one. For a victim, this experience is disorienting. They're filled with self-doubt, and they often feel anxious, depressed, numb, or confused. They don't know what.
Terrible feeling when you yourself feel dumb, when you believe you're dumb. Because that's kind of dumb to believe that, you know? It's not good.
You're right.
To believe.
It is.
Sometimes they start to doubt their own senses and their own memories of experiences.
Yeah.
For a gaslighter, it's about controlling the situation. Gaslighters are often normal people with poor self-esteem.
Okay, so gaslighters but they have low self-esteem, and what is it?
Not some sort of evil mastermind. Not some sort of evil mastermind. So what does gaslighting actually look like? Not some sort of evil, normal people with poor self-esteem. Not some sort of evil mastermind.
Okay.
So
I really wanted to know what it was. It was poor self-esteem.
Yeah.
So they don't like themselves. They have a problem with. I guess they don't like themselves, right? Isn't that what that would be?
Yeah, poor self-esteem. Yeah, they don't like themselves. They're rather insecure about themselves, and by extension, the way I think of it, if you're insecure about yourself, you're also insecure about other people as well. And so, the gaslighting, I guess, I'm not sure. He might say, we'll say, is like a defense mechanism for them. You know, they're trying to like control the situation.
Yeah,
I
think they've been in so many situations where they were powerless, and whenever they can get one little leg up and one opportunity, or they've gotten to the point where I can relate to, is when you just had enough and you're like, these are my boundaries, and that's what they are, and if you don't like them, I don't care. And when you're younger, people want to erode your boundaries. They want to like kind of control you, right? But as you become more mature, I think it's very important to set your boundaries, but not be like angry and bitter. Just be like, this is how I operate. I will not change. Like, and that's like your core belief. That's something that's like important to you. Like, I have to go to bed at this time to take a shower to be prepared.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to allow you to disturb that, you know?
You bring up a great point, or two, actually. Really, one, the sense of powerlessness is true. Like, I'm thinking of people who gaslit me in the past, and they were effective. And then I think about their upbringing, or maybe from what I could gather, stories they've told and their experience. And it's true, they felt powerless. So in the most compassionate way I can think of this, I kind of feel bad for them. They felt powerless, and then they felt in order to control a situation, me or whomever was their target, they had to come after me. To your other point, when you're younger, your boundaries feel fluid. You're seeking acceptance. Maybe as a younger person, I know I was more insecure. So my boundaries were a bit more fluid. And then as I got older and I learned my preferences, I learned about myself, I felt like, okay, I can set these boundaries. And then you're right, doing it without being bitter, angry, or hostile, I think is important.
Well, also, like, I've been bitter, angry, and hostile.
Oh, yes.
I've been every one of those things. I could still be those things. I'm quite capable of them.
Absolutely.
And I try my best to keep my cool, but I find a lot of situations when people are gaslighting you. See, you mentioned about knowing their background. So this sounds more like a relationship. But when it's work, and you only know somebody at work, and you got to deal with that, and you don't even know their backstory, you start to hear about it eventually, but like you're only getting like a boom of their personality, especially the first time you meet them, if they're in leadership or something like that, and you can tell immediately. You're like, I'm going to get along with that person. Other people, like me, I can sense immediately. I'm like, I am not going to get along with this person. And it's just because I have very firm standards. Like, I don't like to be talked to like I'm an idiot. You have to talk to me somewhat. You have to talk to me respectfully. And I don't mean you got to be like super respectful, but don't, when I first meet you, immediately think you can like call me whatever name you want to call me, a nickname, tell me what to do, make me stand somewhere, and then show me you're not a good leader. We're not gonna be cool, you know?
Yeah, I got you there. And that's a great point too. Like at work, because I think we've all had, or the person who's gaslit us at work too. Yeah. You're right.
That's the most where it happens.
I don't know the guy's background, right? I don't really know the first or second or third interaction I have with him. Oh yeah, he had a rough childhood or whatever it was. You're right. You're just getting that snapshot. Now, over time, I got an idea of this guy's background too, but it is interesting how, and it's just, you're right. You can tell too, if you're attuned to it, paying attention. Am I going to get along with this person or not?
You'll know if
I'm kind of the same way. I try to keep an open mind, but you're right. It's like sometimes you meet someone, you're like, oh, this is going to be a rough ride for both of us.
Yeah. Because
it's not gonna,
I know they're going to push that button that I don't like when it's pushed, because I have feeling. I remember. So I heard something the other day. I thought this was pretty good. And this really goes into like gaslighting a lot. People, we remember a lot of negativity and things like that more often because it's associated with a feeling. A feeling.
Yes.
Well, you'll remember how people made you feel. So if somebody bullies you, it stays because you remember how weak you felt, how you were. They made fun of you, whatever. Put the context in. That is what it is. It's the feeling. You know,
it's true. It's like I think Maya Angelou. People don't remember what you say; they remember how you make them feel.
That's exactly
that's so true.
That's the line I heard, didn't know she said it, and that's the one I was like, that's really accurate. You know,
so true. Yeah.
Let's good. I like to talk. That was good. Let's get a little more information here.
It's good, yeah.
So what does gaslighting actually look like in practice? Let me start by describing a scenario and then sharing 5 ways a gaslighter might respond. Imagine a couple has a disagreement about who should clean the kitchen after a meal. It escalates until they're both shouting, hurling insults, and everything just grows out of control. A few days later, they've cooled down. They decide to talk about what happened. Here are the tactics the gaslighter might use. Denial. The gaslighter straight up denies the argument ever happened. Or they take a lighter approach and they say it didn't happen how the victim remembers it.
I don't think I used denial enough as a kid. That's a really funny one to do. They'd be like, they're like, oh, remember you came in yesterday and you were acting like, no, what are you talking about? Yeah, I don't remember. Like, just to completely disregard it.
That's true. I've never really used that when I was younger. Now, I have used it now, but the people I use it with know that I'm joking with them. So they know, like, they'll be like, comrade, you walked in and said hello. And I said, no, I was never in the room. What do you mean?
Yeah.
But they know we have the rapport already set. Like, I'm obviously joking. I know I walked in the room and said hello.
It kind of works though.
Maybe I sounded, yeah.
Like if you don't know people,
how it works. Yeah.
If you don't know people super well, you might be like, you ever talk to somebody like, oh, what did I say? I don't remember what we talked about. And then you're like, that never happened. It'd be like, it didn't.
That's right.
So
that's right. Good. It's weirdly effective. You're right.
It's weird if it's not close. If they're not close to you, it definitely can work.
What argument? That was a normal conversation. Minimization. The gaslighter might claim shouting and insults are normal in relationships, and it's the victim's fault for being so upset.
You're like, listen, this is how I operate. I scream at people.
This is normal. Every relationship's like this.
Yeah.
Oh, this is very good. Yeah.
They'd say, yeah, we argued, but it wasn't a big deal. You shouldn't be so upset. Projection. the gaslighter turns accusations back around against the victim. They'd say, you might have been upset and arguing, but I was perfectly calm. You need to learn to control your anger. Put downs. The gaslighter insults the victim to flip blame back around.
Some people, that's the first thing that they do. Really confrontational.
Yeah.
If it's like a breakup or something, some woman's just like, or some man, that's the first thing. They're just like, oh, you broke ass, blah, blah. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you're
Broke, you know, you're ugly,
fat, bald.
you're whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're short or too tall or too
Your
whatever,
ex-girlfriend's
right?
ugly. You know, it's like,
Disrespectful,
you know,
man. Yeah, it's
your
true.
mom is an asshole. It's like immediately.
They might say, wow, you really are bent out of shape about that little argument. You're way too dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
Threatening.
Threatening.
The gaslighter threatens.
Threatening is almost immediate. A lot of people, if you just walk in the streets and, you know, it's always that scenario. If you're like in the city or something like that, or you're by yourself and someone approaches you, one of the first things they do is threaten you. That's the most off-putting thing, is when a stranger comes up to you and threatens you, because it's just immediately not normal. You don't normally have conversations like where somebody meets like, I'm gonna give me what you got now. You know, and just like, whoa, you know?
It's true. I remember a guy asking me to borrow my phone on the subway. I didn't want to do it. So then he starts making me feel, well, what are you, like? What are you, racist?
Oh.
You know, it's like, whoa, no. I'm just not giving up my phone.
They act that.
You know, to anybody.
Yeah. The word racist is going to be like, it's the most gaslit word in the past. I don't even know. It's been 5 years now, ever since COVID. I mean, it really has become the boy who cried wolf at this point. There's just the discernment on that thing anymore is I don't.
Discernment is, you're right. It's gone. And it's a shame, because if there is an element of actual racism on someone's part somewhere, suddenly that becomes minimized because everyone's throwing it around like, oh, comrade, you're not letting me hold your phone on a subway and you don't know me because you're racist. No, I'm doing it because you could be anyone, and I don't know who you are.
We're in a weird spot. We're in a weird position. I don't know you. You want me to give you my property, and when I don't give you what you want, I don't like you because of the color of your skin. That's retarded. That's not correct.
And they're completely unrelated. Like, I have no issue with someone's race or origin or whatever. I don't care.
The whole thing is built. It's to shame you. It's to do all these things. And then what happens when, like, you give them your phone and then they run away with it? Who's the idiot then? Like, who, you know, you knew, your instincts told you. And I'll just say, I think racism isn't against the law. I think hate crimes are, but I think you can be a real nasty, bigoted person, and that's perfectly legal.
You're absolutely right.
So,
you can think whatever you want. There's no such thing as a thought crime, at least not yet anyway.
Exactly.
You can think whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend that kind of thought, but hey, look, you know, people are people, and we got some wild, crazy ones out there.
Yep.
But you're right. It's not illegal to think
not illegal.
Now, if you do something like in the world about it, that's another story, right?
If you amplify,
like you said, hate crime,
terroristic threats and all, but you can say a lot of things to people. And I mean, you know where I got this from? I watched the first season of American Horror Story, and it was a good.
Oh, right.
I don't know if you ever watched it.
I forgot about that show. Yeah, I did. I saw the first series too.
So the guy was kind of going through it, right? And then, like, I think he was a psychologist, and he was just like, he started to treat his patients horribly. He was talking to them like terribly. And then this cop came or something happened, and she said to him, she's like, yeah, it's not against the law to be an asshole. And I was like, oh shit, I get it.
right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, you're right. I was laughing earlier during the video because it's so, when Woody there was breaking down elements of gaslighting.
Where's Woody? There he is.
There he is. See those 5 listed there. I'm like, because I'm sure we've all experienced every single one of them, even in the same conversation.
And not only experienced, but have also done. Have I put somebody down? I normally don't put people down. I try not to meet people. I've never been like that. Like verbally to your face, just put you down. Like I'm not that person. Projection, obviously. Minimization, of course.
I've done that too. Yeah.
Denial.
Come on, you're just getting overexcited about
threatening. I've definitely threatened like people where it's like, I'm done talking about that fucking shit.
Yeah, I've done the thing too where, oh, you know what? I'm just if this keeps up, I'm just gonna walk away.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
and then you think
You
you're
know,
gonna
that kind
walk
of thing.
away,
Yeah.
and then
And they really, yeah.
and then your
Yeah.
emotions take over. You're like, well, yeah, I don't give a shit.
Then, oh, I don't care. Slamming doors, right? All that.
I know. But now a lot of that is relationship based, of course.
Yeah.
Something bad happening if the victim doesn't go along with their way of thinking. They'd say, if you keep being so dramatic, I'm going to leave. Then you can always clean the kitchen. Remember, gaslighting is not a one-time thing. These tactics are used day after day over the course of months.
It's relationship based. You know, work, whatever. It's you have to have a relationship with a person to be gaslit. I guess randomly you can, but you're a stranger.
That's absolutely.
I don't care what you think. You know.
Mm-hmm. You're right. I think like if it's one time, it's one thing, but you're right. It's relationship based. It's across time and interactions. Yeah.
Years. After being told hundreds of times that they're too dramatic, victims might slowly start to believe it. One quick note. So far, I've been talking about romantic relationships, but gaslighting can happen in any type of relationship, such as parents and their children, friendships, or at work.
Yep.
Oh,
So,
man.
what if you're a victim of gaslighting? What do you do?
What do you do?
It's important to remember
Woody's going to tell us what to do. Everybody.
that is not your fault.
Okay.
Nothing you said, nothing you did caused someone to gaslight you. And the good news is, you're not powerless. There are ways that you can rebuild the trust you once had in yourself. Here are a few ways to help you defend against gaslighting.
Some journaling.
First, keep a daily journal. Record what
good
happens
call.
in your day, especially interactions with the gaslight.
Journaling is legit. Everybody should do it. I should do it more. I always feel better after I write some stuff down. Even if you like plan your bills for the next month, that's also journaling, you know.
You're right.
So you can go back in the future and review events from your own perspective.
Yep.
Rather than your gaslighter's perspective.
Yep.
And practice trusting what you wrote down, your own accounts of what happened.
Yep, I totally agree. All right, so let's drop this. Have we still got the bullet here? All right, buddy. I thought that was fun. I had a good time with that one.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, me too. Talking about a topic that, you know, like you said, we've both been, you know, the victims of gaslighting, and we may have even done it ourselves.
I've done it myself, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I don't doubt I have too, or at very least, people perceive me doing it, and that's enough, you know. So yeah, it makes you think, like, okay, how am I treating people? How am I being treated? And I really like the point you made about journaling. That was a great call, by the way.
Yeah,
Journal
it's
your
always
thoughts,
journal.
journal your it is a good practice for a lot of reasons.
Yep. I just find that I like to do these episodes because I see reflections of myself in these videos, and I do try to be a better person, but I still do get caught up with emotional things. And I think it's very natural because if you get hungry, if you're tired, if somebody gets me, like does something to me before I even like got in the shower or something, I'm not, you know, my mask, my social mask isn't on. You're at a very intimate moment with me. So I think it's hard to be like your best when you're like struggling, you know, which is,
You're right.
you know, certainly tired, hungry, poor, and strung out. I think kids will strung you out, and you don't know those people could have somebody who died in their family. Everybody is compounding memories and emotions. So every time you're walking by a human, you're looking at some sort of like data set, right, of like their brain and all of their issues, and you don't know who you're getting. So I don't know.
It's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I remember telling friends or, you know, incoming relationships as they're starting out, I said, you know, just to be honest, I said, sometimes when I'm very tired or I'm like get no sleep or I'm stressed about something, I become socially stupid.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm very likely to say something or do something just dumb. I don't mean to. I'm not trying. You know, it's like kind of a fair, for lack of better words, a fair warning.
Well, and I think everyone can relate with that because we are human at the end of the day, and we don't get up looking as good as we do when we step out the house and go to work. We're trying our best to keep it up, you know.
That's right. Yeah, hold it together, right?
Exactly. because inevitably it falls apart.
And
You
you know,
know?
when I would give the other person the same latitude, of course. I'd be like, I know if they're tired and they say something silly, I would always try to keep in mind, oh yeah, well, you know, they're who's 100% all the time, right?
But
That's
that
not
requires being mindful. And you and I are pretty nice people, and we are very mindful of others, and some people are not. And I think they actually live a way more fun life in a way when you don't have to worry about offending people. I don't know. Some people are out there just. I'm always like, I'll check myself out, and I'm like, you got to do this or whatever. And I'll see somebody else behaving. I'm like, nobody's looking at me. They're all going to look at you. You know?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's true, man.
And with that, we are out.
Peace.